Welcome back with yet another video. Happy New Year's. This is the first video of the new year. So happy New Year's again. And if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. It's Andrew. So I've been doing photos and videos for the past 3 years now, having bought my camera at the end of 2022, but I have not learned the most about videos and photos until the past year and a half. And it wasn't until I started to realize and do certain things to really elevate my work. Now I truly know what it's like to buy a camera and not knowing where to start. You have your camera, you have all these buttons and all these things. You have to learn about your camera and you're just starting from zero. There's no clear instruction on how to truly become the best photographer you can be. I've been doing videos for the longest. Before I even started doing photography, I actually landed a real estate gig where I shot it completely on my iPhone and I did get paid for it. You know, it wasn't my best work, but it was a start. And I was making videos on YouTube using my iPhone and I was recording vlogs and shoe customs. And none of these videos are up. I am a man of the arts. Yes, I know. I've always had a love for the arts and I still do have love for the art and I enjoy doing it till this day. When I bought my first camera, it was pretty overwhelming. I didn't really know where to start. And it was even a longer, extensive process of just buying my camera. But this is not what this video is about the buying process. In this video, I'm giving 7 tips on you have a camera, you want to know what direction you really need to go in learning the best possible way that you can. Now, whether you're shooting on your camera or you're shooting on your iPhone, I don't recommend shooting on your iPhone because I believe everybody on this planet should own a camera, but you know, I'm a little biased. Now, if you do not listen to any part of this video, this is the most important step by far to me, and it's go grab your camera, go out there and go shoot. Just shoot anything, shoot whatever you see. If you see an ant and the ant looks real gorgeous and pretty and has a wig, just shoot it. Just shoot it, I promise. That is the worst you can do, is not take the shots. You have to grab that camera and actually be motivated to go shoot. You make ways to be motivated. Go out there and take some pictures, take some videos. Any shots not taken is shots not taken. And the beauty of it is that start shooting, you do not need any gear at all. All you need is an SD card and a lens. And your camera comes with batteries, hopefully. Buy the gear that you need. Now, when you're starting, you do not need any gear at all. But if you're going to buy gear and you're going to add on to what you already have, buy the gear that's going to make shooting a lot more easier, make shooting a lot more pleasant, and make the process of grabbing that camera to get those shots just fun. The time that you need more gear is when you're starting to get into more complex things and you're doing more artistic or stylish things. Like if you're just doing photography itself, you don't need really any gear to start. You're getting into video, and let's say you're recording yourself, then you're gonna need that tripod. You're definitely gonna need an ND filter. When you're starting to add audio into your work, then you're gonna need either an on-camera mic or an off-camera mic, a lavalier mic or whatever. Buy the gear that's going to push you to go out there and create. Buying that ND filter, buying that tripod, buying that mic. And then as you get on, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm doing videos. What lens do I need? What lens could help me achieve this look that I'm starting to lean towards? Starting off, I wouldn't recommend that you buy the most expensive lens. I wouldn't recommend you buy a prime lens. I'd invest in a really good zoom lens, something that can at least cover a 50mm, that gives you that range, then that could give you something to pull back from. Now, there are certain gear that does make your job easy and that makes it more motivating to go out there and shoot. That makes it less of a hassle to grab your camera and shoot. But at the base of it, the most important thing that will lead to every probably one of these tips is to go out and shoot. You cannot have anything to work off of if you're not going out there and taking a shot and taking some pictures to edit. Composition and lighting. Now, I know you hear it all the time, exposure triangle, exposure triangle, exposure triangle, here, that. It's kind of cliche, but you have to really master that exposure triangle, master your camera settings so that you can get to those exposure triangles pretty quick. But in this video specifically, I really want to highlight the aperture. If you don't know what aperture is, it is the blur that you get when you're taking a shot that it causes the background to be either more blurry or less blurry. But what it also does is also add more light or take away light. So it is important to start knowing how to use your aperture for better compositions. Just because you have an f1.8 or f2.8 don't mean you have to shoot f2.8. And just because you want more light doesn't mean you have to go to a f1.8. Sometimes just crank that ISO. Like, that is something I was always scared of doing when I first started, was cranking up my ISO, because I'm hearing all these YouTubers or these creators telling me, oh, ISO introduces grain. Oh, make sure it's as low as possible. Know your camera settings is important, because you get to know that, oh, my camera performs the best right here. Now, if I do this, how will my camera perform? Okay, it'll be some grain. How does my camera's grain look? Maybe it's not that bad. I would rather have my ISO pushed in my camera than having to do it later in Lightroom or in DaVinci Resolve if I'm working on video. But that's me. Once you master that exposure triangle, let's say for whatever reason you're out, you don't have an ND filter and it's bright outside. What can I do to make sure I'm achieving this look to its truest extent of what I am envisioning? So, oh, I don't have an ND filter. Okay, let me bring up my aperture to f15. Oh, let me break some rules actually. I'm not gonna bring up my aperture to f15. I'm gonna crank my shutter speed to 320, 350, or whatever the number is. It might do the job. It might give you something that's very stylized that you might like. Once you understand it, you can break it. Learn your camera settings. I truly understand what it's like to buy a camera and not knowing where to start. You have all these buttons, you have all these settings, but master your camera settings, master how your camera is, understand your camera settings. For the longest time, I did not understand what megapixels were. Like, I don't understand what a 42 megapixel camera was or a 24 megapixel camera was, but understand your camera settings, because then you understand your camera's limits and you understand your camera's strength. Understand your camera settings also because, for instance, on my Fuji, for the longest time, I've always messed up my white balance. Like, I just sucked at remembering to set my white balance, or it was just a hassle for me to get to my white balance. But I created a very easy shortcut that's called auto white balance lock. I didn't know that was a thing, and then I found out about it, and I just abused it. I just abused the auto white balance lock. If I'm going from location to location, I unlock, set my white balance gets set, I lock it. So now I know my white balance is matched. And when I go later on in post, all my shots, when I'm putting a power grade on it that I've created, it all looks as even as possible. I might have to adjust my white balance in later, but it's a lot easier than completely being off. Then I don't have as much to fix. Long story short, make things fast, make things easy, and make things more motivating to do. Learn to edit. Learn to edit. Learn to edit. Learn to edit, learn to edit, learn to edit. Edit your photos and start understanding what contrast and saturation is. You have lighting that comes in your camera, and then you have shaping your light in post, in your editing software. Understand what your curves are doing. Learn how to mask. Like, masking is very important. My first 2 years of photography, I didn't even start doing masking until last year. I've never really masked my photos or doing video work. I never understood much of the importance of it. I've tried once or twice before, but I wasn't really understanding it. I just hit year 3, so like I have to try new things. I started doing more work, and I'm just like trying to elevate myself. How important and how much masking can really take you. It's like one of those sleeper editing techniques. as you're learning how to edit, whether you're looking on YouTube or studying other people's work, you're gonna see a lot of that teal and orange edit. Practice, like do that style. It is very overly used. Then you're also gonna see photographers that use green or that use orange, that orange brownish. Like I've seen a photographer that just did some beautiful work and it was pink, like it was a pink style, like it was just gorgeous. Did I try it? Yes, I did. Like this was like 2 years ago. Was I great at it? No, but I did try it and I did try to replicate it. It didn't come out as good as they did. Now, could I try it again and probably do better? Yes, because when you're editing and you're trying different styles, you gotta try other people's styles because it helps you to understand and master your editing, understanding how everything connects with each other and what you're actually doing. You're gonna take bad photos, you're gonna make bad edits, I promise you. I've watched some of the best photographers and videographers on YouTube and they'll tell you some of their work was probably not the best work. That's what you learn from. You can always go back. Your editing style is gonna change and you're gonna get better. You can always go back and just edit those photos, you know, like one bad edit doesn't mean the picture's ruined, you know? Like you can always go back and learn and get better. Last one, I'm gonna keep it short. I didn't do too much scripting. I just had some key points. But learn and improve one photo at a time and slow down. Slow it down. That's something that I learned specifically this year alone, was just to slow down. When I first got my camera and my friend took me out and he was doing street photography with me, I was just clicking. Like he gave me a tip about like what he does to shoot, right? And then all I heard was burst, go. I had my thing on continuous high and it was rolling. Let your hand off of that shutter button sometimes and just enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Just wait for those perfect shots. Sometimes you just gotta wait. It's about patience. And sometimes you don't have the patience. You don't have the luxury of patience, depending on what field you're trying to get into, whether it's weddings or whatever. Sometimes being slow is being fast. Imagine you're going on this race and you know you have to run a mile. You take off. You're in for a rude awakening. But anyways, that's the end of my video. I hope this video turns out good and some good advice to y'all and it is very useful to you. So, and if it is, please like and subscribe. Bye. And it doesn't have to be a go. It's like, take it slow, take your time. Learn these things. You don't have to do all these in one day and you can create magic.